welcome back to another episode of 12-inch Figure Fanatic. Remember to subscribe. Today we're going to be opening up the EXO-6 Star Trek Voyager Captain Janeway. I got to admit, I'm more of a Star Trek The Next Generation fan than all the other subsequent stuff that came out after that. And the original series is just low budget. I mean, the technology at the time was okay, but anyway, you hardcore Star Trekkies might crucify me for not liking the original, but Voyager was okay. And this figure, she's actually next to Captain Picard. She's my favorite captain. So let's crack this thing open and see what we got going on here. All right, so just a standard slip with this one with a window box here, looking at the figure. So they've been coming out with the EXO-6 has been coming out with quite a few very nice Star Trek figures, but some of them are just like either the characters they're choosing or the uniforms for the characters are just like not mainstream, like that the average person would recognize. So some of them are really for like that niche collector that's a fan of Star Trek, like certain uniforms that the original series characters wore in maybe one episode. But I have a few of their figures, just some of the main ones, and it goes great with my original Star Trek bridge set. All right. So one thing you can always trust is that the clothing is going to be real crisp, and this one is no exception. It looks very nice. Let's get this off here. Okay, so the head sculpt itself it's pretty good. It seems like the face is a little too swollen, especially in the lower part, the jawline, and then there's also not a lot of depth to the painting done. I mean, you could definitely tell it's her. The head sculpt itself is pretty good, but there's just not a lot of depth in how they painted it. The hair is probably above standard as far as how they sculpted the depth of the strands of hair. I'm impressed by that, and they definitely gave enough variation in color there. The uniform, very nice. Now this is plastic, it's not metal. You got the rank on the side here, and the fit of the uniform is very nice as well. As you can see, it's very, very tailored fit, and that to me, that's one of the best features of EXO-6 figures, is the way they tailor the clothing that they use. You could also tell the quality of the base figure is very above standard as well. It's nice quality to it. It's got some weight to it, and you can tell you can rely on posing the body to stay where you want it to go. And the hands, very good sculpt, and you can't tell very well, but it's got a decent sort of speckle effect to give it some texture, some layering to it. So that's done very nice. And then you got the boots. They're sculpted plastic, and then they have the loop securing the bottom of the pants as well. So very, very nice figure. Let's take a look at some of the stuff that it comes with. All right, so you got a phaser rifle with a strap. No moving pieces, but that's okay. Yeah, it's detailed enough. It's pretty basic. We have a tricorder, and like they've done in the past, it's magnetic. So if you want to keep it closed, or if you want to keep it open, it secures via magnet, it's very nice. And then there's enough detailing there, combination of sculpt and decaling. Yeah. And then you have a a pouch for that. And that has a magnetic attachment to it as well. So I imagine there's magnets already built into the figure. Yep, just like that. Doesn't get any easier than that. Then we have a smaller phaser and the holster for that. And once again, magnetic attachment. A pad, a precursor to the Apple's iPad that came out years later. That's just a decal on there. She was often known for holding her mug. I forget what she drank. I know Captain Picard drank Earl Grey tea. I don't know, maybe she just drank coffee, but it looks like there's a dark liquid in there. So it's good detailing as far as that goes. And then you have several hands, probably more than necessary, but there's also a lot for her to hold on to. Lots of hands. And they all have that same nice level of sculpt and paint detailing on them as well. And this, I don't know. I have an idea that this is to secure the base. I think what happens is you can get all the figures as a set, and then the bases connect so that it looks like one large transporter pad. Yeah, so they've got these little niches so that you can secure the clips on. So if you have several figures that you own, you can line them all up and have them all kind of fixed together. But I like how they did this, like a transporter pad. It doesn't have her name on it, and that's okay. And then you've got this as well, if you want to maybe switch it out so it's not a transporter pad and it's just plain. But let's put this figure together and I'll give you my final thoughts on it. All right, so I had forgotten that this card was underneath one of the blister packed plastic pieces. So there's a notch here that comes with that little pack that I showed you earlier, and you just insert it there, and then there's a place for the card to be held. So all of their figures come with this little card, so if you have them all lined up, it's just a nice presentation to show the name, although the name is a little bit smaller than I would prefer. And it comes with a sufficient number of accessories. I like all the magnetic features of it. That's better than trying to hook things in or snap things in. The only downside of this figure is, like I said, the paint job on the head sculpt, and maybe a little bit too thick in the jawline. But other than that, it's a solid figure. I wouldn't say that they're expensive, but they're higher than average, and you get the quality for it, though. I'd have to give this figure probably a 9.4 out of 10. Other than those features that I mentioned, it didn't do anything wrong at all, and it's a great figure. Anyway, see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.